Sisi tuseme hatuna hate speech. Sisi tunatumia figurative language kwa sababu sisi ni wanafunzi wa literature.
That there is nothing like that whatsoever. That IEBC, this commission stands for transparency.
Imagine waking up one morning to discover that some of Kenya's most influential politicians may not even appear on the ballot in the 2027 general election. It sounds unbelievable. For months, politicians have been traversing the country, launching alliances, attacking rivals, and preparing supporters for what is expected to be one of the Kenya's most competitive elections. But now, a new development has captured the nation's attention. State agencies have declared that the era of unchecked hate speech, ethnic incitement, and inflammatory political rhetoric must come to an end. The announcement has immediately sparked speculation. Who are the politicians under scrutiny? Could powerful leaders actually be stopped from contesting? Or is this simply a warning intended to change the tone of political campaigns before they become even more heated? Welcome back to the channel. Today we examine what has happened, what the law says, why this decision matters, and what it could mean for the future of Kenyan politics. Stay with us until the end because this story could shape the road to the 2027 general election. So now, let's start here. What has actually happened? Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC and the National Cohesion and Integration Commission NCIC and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation DCI and the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties have announced closer cooperation to curb hate speech, ethnic incitement, and election-related violence. Their message is straightforward. Political competition must not threaten national unity. Campaigns should focus on policies rather than language that divides communities or encourages violence. The agencies say they will monitor political rallies, public speeches, interviews, online content, and other campaign activities for possible violations of the law. Since this announcement, reports have circulated claiming that 15 politicians could ultimately face consequences if investigations establish that they violate the law. However, one important fact must be emphasized. No official list identifying those politicians has been released by the authorities. That distinction is important because social media speculation should not be confused with official government action. So why this time? Why now? Many Kenyans remember previous election periods marked by tension, inflammatory rhetoric, and in some cases, violence. Every election season raises concerns about leaders using tribal identity or inflammatory language to mobilize supporters. Government agencies argue that prevention is far better than responding after violence has already occurred. Instead of waiting for conflict, they want to intervene early. This explains why authorities are increasing surveillance of political activities long before the official campaign period reaches its peak. So now, let's talk about the law. What does the law say? Kenyan law protects freedom of expression. Political leaders are free to criticize the government, oppose policies, and campaign vigorously. However, that freedom is not unlimited. The Constitution and several laws prohibit speech that promotes hatred, discrimination, violence, or ethnic hostility. If investigators believe a politician has crossed that line, the matter may be investigated and, where appropriate, prosecuted through the courts. And legal consequences will ultimately depend on due process and judicial decisions, not simply on public allegations. And so, let's tackle on what this has to do with the political implications. This announcement arrives at a sensitive moment. President William Ruto and his allies are preparing for another election. Meanwhile, opposition leaders continue building alliances and expanding their campaigns across the country. Political rallies are becoming larger, language is becoming sharper, and personal attacks have become increasingly common. Against this background, every major political figure will likely come under greater scrutiny. Many leaders may now become more cautious about the words they use during rallies. Others may accuse authorities of selective enforcement if they believe the rules are not being applied equally. This, in turn, creates another political contest, not only over votes but also over fairness, accountability, and public trust. So, what does Kenyans say? What are Kenyans saying? The announcement has divided public opinion. Some Kenyans welcome the move, while they argue that politicians have enjoyed too much freedom to spread dangerous rhetoric without consequences. According to this view, leaders should inspire peace rather than exploit ethnic divisions for political gain. Others, however, are urging caution. They say an investigation must be independent, transparent, and based on evidence. If enforcement appears selective, it could deepen political mistrust instead of strengthening democracy. These competing views reflect the broader challenge facing Kenya, balancing freedom freedom of political expression with the need to protect national cohesion. So now the big question comes: will this initiative genuinely improve political accountability, or will it become another source of political controversy? That question cannot be answered today. What is certain is that the political environment is changing. Every speech will be examined, every rally may be recorded, and every controversial statement could attract legal attention. Politicians now know that their words may carry consequences beyond applause from supporters. So now, what happens next? Investigations, if any, will follow legal procedures. Evidence will need to be gathered, and the affected individuals will have the right to respond. Any criminal or electoral consequences will depend on the applicable law and decisions by the relevant institutions and courts. For now, the country waits to see whether these warnings will lead to concrete action or simply encourage more responsible campaigning. Kenya is entering another defining political season, and the choices made by political leaders over the coming months will influence not only the 2027 election but also the public confidence in the country's democratic institutions. The message from state agencies is that campaigns should be competitive but peaceful, passionate but lawful. Whether that goal is achieved will depend on political leaders, institutions, and citizens alike. As always, we will continue following every major development and bringing you balanced political analysis. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you support stronger action against politicians who engage in hate speech? Or do you think existing laws are enough if applied fairly? Leave your views in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this analysis, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next update. I am Winston Odari for National Alert TV.